Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM to News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. And we begin tonight with the forecast, and that is because the fire danger tomorrow could be extreme. We are tracking red flag warnings in place for our entire region starting tomorrow morning. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for everything we need to know. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, we do have those red flag warnings in effect for basically the entire state of Washington, Idaho, Montana, and down into Oregon. It's a hot, dry, windy weather pattern that builds in, and that exacerbates fire danger across the region. We're talking wind gusts up near 30 miles per hour. Keep in mind, this is that same vegetation that's all dried out that we've been talking about for some time, and that means more smoke in the air. Right now, air quality sits at moderate, and we're going to stay good to moderate tomorrow and Thursday with that wind picking up. Basically, we take all of the smoke that is currently settled in across the region and we just kind of push it out to the east. That means some of us will see improved conditions, others not so much. Overnight, we fall down to near 50. Basically, wind stirs the atmosphere and keeps us from cooling as much as we did last night. But by tomorrow afternoon, we are back up in the 90s, and that's just part of the ongoing fire danger. Coming up, I'll break it all down for you.
Sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. At this hour, level 3 evacuations have been expanded for a wildfire moving quickly through Stevens County. So if you live in the area of Pleasant Valley Road and Day Road, you need to leave immediately. The fire has burned around 40 acres this afternoon. Earlier today, several aircraft were deployed to fight the fire. Stevens County Emergency Management says it is burning in the northeast direction. This is a developing story. We will continue to bring you updates as we learn them. Meanwhile, the Department of Natural Resources says the Seven Bays fire has grown to about 1,000 acres, but as of earlier tonight, all evacuations have been lifted. There are several different agencies working to contain the fire. However, the Lincoln County Sheriff says no buildings are threatened. That fire started early Sunday afternoon and is about 15 miles northwest of Davenport. Meantime, in Southern California near Hemet, a devastating wildfire killed 2 people, injured another, and burned several homes overnight. Thousands have been forced to evacuate. Officials estimate 5,000 buildings are in the path of the flames. Investigators believe the fire started at the back of a community with only one road in and one road out. It spread quickly, even trapping some residents who had to be rescued. Record-breaking temperatures up to 20 degrees above average and intense drought have dried out the West Coast, leading to extreme fire danger. Well, investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board have arrived in western Washington to start investigating that deadly seaplane crash off Whidbey Island, which killed 10 people. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk explains what challenges investigators now face. Kyle?
Well, the NTSB said they believe the plane is in 100 feet of water, but with the tides and currents in the Puget Sound, they now have a large search area. Finding every piece of that plane will be important to tell what happened and how to prevent a similar crash in the future.
I want to express our most sincere condolences to the family and friends of the victims of this terrible tragedy.
The NTSB will not speculate on what caused the seaplane to crash off the shore of Whidbey Island. However, witnesses who saw the plane knew something was wrong.
It didn't look like anything but a plane just nose diving to the water.
Matthew Peterson jumped into a boat with his father-in-law and tried to help.
We got out there and there was nothing left. And then, obviously we came across the body that we found.
There were 9 passengers on board, including 1 child and the pilot, for a total of 10. All are presumed deceased.
The NTSB believes the plane is now 100 feet below the water in the Puget Sound. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife is bringing in sonar equipment to help investigators locate the wreckage. 9 people on board the fatal flight remain missing.
Our mission is to understand not just what happened, but why it happened, and to recommend changes to prevent it from happening again.
People are remembering the 10 on board, including 2 women from Spokane. City Councilwoman Betsy Wilkerson shared this photo with both of them. On the right, retired school teacher Patricia Hicks, and on the left, civil rights activist Sandy Williams, who was celebrating her 61st birthday. And the NTSB says the investigation into this crash could take at least 2 years. And again, they're working to recover every piece of that aircraft so they can determine what went wrong. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
And tonight, as Kyle just said, we also know Spokane civil rights activist Sandy Williams was among those in that crash. She was the executive director of the Carl Maxey Center, founder and editor of the Black Lens newspaper, and a trailblazer in the African-American community. Losing Sandy Williams is a loss felt by many tonight. She was a pillar for progress in Spokane, and the flowers left outside the Maxey Center today are a reflection of the lives that she touched. People knew Williams in the community and as a determined and strong and an advocate for social and civil rights justice.
She did bring black people together, to bring all people together and for us to support each other. See, because when we can come together as a people, we have a beginning. And when we can stay together as a people, we got progress.
Williams' partner, Patricia Hicks, was also identified as one of the people on board that plane. Brown says he knew Hicks through Williams and that she was a beautiful person. He says the community will feel the loss of two important community members for a long time. Meanwhile, tonight, Spokane City Council member Betsy Wilkerson posted about the impact that Sandy had on her community. She wrote, "Our East Central community lost a giant, a champion, and an unapologetic advocate for our black community and our LGBTQIA2S+ community." She continued on her impact in creating the Carl Maxey Center. The dream for the center actually originated at a barbecue in her mom's backyard when she said that the black community in Spokane has lost so much because of the freeway and encroaching development that we needed a special place to call our own and to uplift our community. She was always a visionary like that, she said. Well, tonight, Spokane Pride also posting on Facebook, sharing a statement remembering Williams. It shares the accomplishment that Sandy made for the inclusion of the community since the first Pride in Spokane event. It explains that she made significant strides for representation, justice, and equity, and that Williams contributed so much for Pride to be a reality in Spokane. It goes on to say, "We have made it this far because of people like her. May Sandy's legacy live through us and in our work. Thank you for being a forever Pride champion, Sandy." The Facebook post also remembers her partner, Pat Hicks, and sends condolences to her loved ones. This is a developing story. We will continue to bring you updates as we learn them. For the list of the victims or updates on that search, just head to our website, KREM.com, or text us the word crash to 509-448-2000. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. Today we are continuing to track what happened before Spokane police shot and killed a man in Hilliard over the weekend. We know that officers were sent to the area on Sunday night to serve an anti-harassment order. SPD says a neighbor reported the man, identified as Robert Bradley, was outside with what appeared to be an AR-15 style rifle. Police say Bradley did not comply with their commands to lower the weapon, and that's when SPD says an officer or officers shot Bradley at least 2 times. Because it is an ongoing investigation, many of the details are not being released at this time. According to that anti-harassment order document, the neighbor filed the protection order after he said Bradley threatened him and his 5-year-old son with a firearm. Weeks prior to this encounter, the neighbor told KREM 2 he left 2 separate notes on Bradley's door asking him to remove his belongings from his side of the property. He told us that he hoped for a peaceful resolution with his new neighbor, but the neighbor says the suspect responded by threatening him and his son with a gun. A body was found near the Girl Scout office in West Central Spokane yesterday, and today we have learned that police do not believe the circumstances are suspicious surrounding the cause of death. We are still working to find out more information. According to Spokane police, the body was reported yesterday morning near North Ash Street and West Maxwell Avenue. Police are not sure how the person died and say they'll likely have to wait for the medical examiner to find out the cause of death. They are expecting to release more information potentially tomorrow. The identity of the person has not yet been released at this time. An update tonight on the condition of the teenage girl who was hit by a school bus after a football game on Friday night. She's in the hospital in critical condition 4 days after the crash. The girl was crossing the street on 8th Avenue when the school bus hit her on South Sullivan. The bus driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating with the investigation. Officials do not believe impairment was a factor in the crash. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed just yet. After the break, the new homeless shelter on East Trent opened tonight. We're sharing what we know about it when we come back in 90 seconds.